Buckle up, cricket fans, for an epic new chapter on today's show. Shubman Gill, the suave 25-year-old batting sensation, he has grabbed the wheel as India's new Test captain, ready to steer the men in blue into a thrilling future. With legends Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli passing the baton, Gills leading the Gen Next charge, kicking off with a five-match Test series against England in the 2025-27 World Test Championship cycle. So tune in as we unpack the swagger, the stakes and the sheer excitement of Shubman Gill's captaincy era. Let's see how this young gun sets the pitch ablaze, or will he? That is the big question. Joining me right now are senior sports journalists Rakesh Rao, Akash Das Gupta and Gautam Bhattacharya. Gentlemen, very warm welcome to the show. Rakesh Rao, long-term captaincy has been prioritized by BCCI, is what Ajit Agarkar also mentioned. Your thoughts on that, your reaction on that before I go to our other guest and ask the other controversial questions regarding Shubman Gill and his appointment?
Yeah, I think it's a very fair call. Thank God it is not Rishabh, because I was just wondering, because selectors are capable of springing a surprise or two. But I'm still surprised that he's still retained. I mean he's been kept as a vice captain, whereas I thought, though they were not going to go ahead with KL Rahul as a skipper in the long run, but for somebody as young as Shubman, it would have been great to have somebody like KL Rahul as his deputy. But then I'm sure KL Rahul is available for his kind of inputs. But yes, talking only about Shubman, I think it's a fair call. And he has shown that he has it in him, unlike a lot of other youngsters. But yes, Shubman but then again, I feel very sorry for him that he's getting baptized in a place like England as the skipper of the Indian red ball team. But yes, if it's scripted in a way that is going to test Shubman's captaincy skills as well as his maturity as a top order guy, I mean, a lot is at stake for him, and I'm sure it's a good call. Yes.
Okay. Akash Das Gupta, what is your take on Shubman being the next Test captain of India? And as Rakesh Rao was mentioning there, shouldn't KL Rahul, he would have been a safer bet for the vice captaincy role? What do you make of that?
Well, good evening, Osama. Well, first up, I am not surprised at all that Shubman Gill has been unveiled as India's new Test captain for a number of reasons. One, everyone knew that the mandate for the selectors was look long term. Look at somebody who's going to be India's Test captain for the long term. And everybody knew that Shubman is going to be captain, and we knew that ever since Jasprit Bumrah picked up that injury in the last Border Gavaskar series, because you have to feel for Jasprit here, because he was going to be India's next Test captain after Rohit Sharma. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But then everybody, including Jasprit himself, realized that his body is just not cut out to take the rigors of all 5 tests, especially when they are playing abroad. So when Jasprit was out, who are you left with? Because Rohit's gone, Virat's gone. Who are you left with? You are left with 2 choices in Shubman Gill and Rishabh Pant. Now, Rishabh Pant, of course, the selectors are very impressed with him when it comes to the longest format of the game. Not so much in the shorter formats. But they are looking long term, and they want someone like Shubman because different individuals, Osama, react to leadership and captaincy in different ways. And there's absolutely no doubt that when it comes to captaincy, Shubman responds to it much better than Rishabh does. We're seeing what's happening in the IPL where Rishabh is captaining Lucknow Super Giants. Frankly, I feel he's just got too much on his plate, and he should relinquish captaincy next season and focus on his batting. So it's not surprising at all that Shubman is going to be captain. Everyone knew it. It became clearer when the India A squad was announced, and we were told that Shubman and Sai Sudarshan are going to be joining the squad for the second match for India A, which meant that obviously Shubman is going to be captain, and also that Sai is going to get his maiden Test call-up. As far as KL not being picked as the vice captain and Rishabh being picked as the vice captain, it again I think has to do with the long-term sort of approach that the selectors have. If you look at the numbers, Rishabh's test numbers are very good. He's actually proved himself. That's the one format where Rishabh Pant has proved himself. He's also your first choice wicket keeper. So if Shubman picks up an injury and you need someone to step in, just like Jasprit did for Rohit Sharma in the last Border Gavaskar Trophy, then I guess Rishabh is your number one choice. Overall, I will echo what Mr. Rao said. Very happy that Shubman has been picked. It's a good call. It's a pragmatic call. It's a call that means that the new era, the era after Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli has well and truly begun.
Gautam Bhattacharya, did the BCCI overlook more seasoned options in order to chase a younger long-term leader? And considering that this is going to be a very high-stakes series that he's going to be captaining in the England series, is this a risky move?
No, you see, we'll have to bear in mind that the BCCI will have to look at a certain contingency measure. Like as Akash said, that it would have been Jasprit Bumrah surely, with the way he had led the first test in Perth. And he had always, despite being your premier first bowler, he had put his hands up and said that he is interested in captaincy. So once he had to be, he kind of opted out, citing his workload, then you have to look at long-term solutions. And I think this combination, like Shubman and Rishabh, I think they would kind of complement each other. As far as KL Rahul is concerned, KL gets nothing if you recognize his efforts of seniority by making him vice captain, because he's a guy who was once in the reckoning to be a captain in virtually all formats.
Yeah.
So he is part of the leadership group because I'm sure these pair, they can do a fair bit with advice from the likes of KL, Ravindra Jadeja, a few of the experienced campaigners who are in the side. So that way, it's a risk worth taking.
Okay. Akash, he's just 25-year-old. He is one of India's youngest test captain since Virat Kohli. There is no test captaincy experience as of for now. It is going to be a very tough tour, England tour to start with. The question is, can he handle the tactical and mental demands of leading against a formidable side? More importantly, is he being thrown into the deep end too soon here?
Well, Osama, there's no doubt about it that this is going to be baptism by fire for Shubman Gill. Because remember, when you are captain, you are not just in charge of the entire squad and the buck stops with you, but you are also under the scanner as far as your own skill set is concerned. Shubman Gill is one of the key batters for Team India. He is always going to be a shoo-in in the first choice 11. So his batting is going to be under the scanner as well. And England is not a venue where he's had a good experience. Of course, he hasn't played a lot of test cricket in England, but he hasn't done very well in England. In fact, if you look at his overall test career so far, he has a much better record in home tests than he has in away tests. So it is going to be baptism by fire. But having seen Shubman grow as an individual, Osama, I think that at the end of the day, this tour might turn out to be a disastrous one for Shubman, both as captain and as batter. Of course, we hope that that's not the case and India does very well. Yeah. But it's very clear that the selectors do have that in mind and they are going to give him the leeway to fail as well, because he is being pushed into the deep end. A lot like Virat Kohli was. You mentioned Virat. Virat was pretty much at the same age when he took over test captaincy and he didn't see it coming. In Shubman's case, he obviously saw it coming. He has been, the selectors have talked to him. He's had multiple meetings with the selectors while the IPL is on. He's been told he's going to be the next captain. Virat didn't see it coming. MS just suddenly decided to step down as captain in the middle of a tour of Australia, and Virat had to take charge. But Shubman knew that this is coming. Shubman is someone who grows with leadership. He adapts to leadership. He's someone who we know, having talked to people who are in the know of Indian cricket, he's someone who's shown a lot of interest in tactical matters. Leadership tactical matters. Even when he was very, very young, when he had just come into the team, he would be part of conversations. So these are things that the selectors also look at. Ajit himself said this when he addressed the media a short while back, that, he got inputs from the team management. He got inputs from the locker room. These are things the selectors value a lot, and they look at these things, which are the youngsters who are actually showing the signs of becoming perhaps a good captain, a good leader. Whether they will actually turn out to be a good leader or not, we don't know. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
But at least they are showing those signs. They're showing that interest. There are individuals who will walk into a locker room and stick to themselves. They will just focus on their skill set, their batting, their bowling. And then there are those who will look at other things as well while making sure that their batting or their bowling is not affected. We are seeing what's happening with the Gujarat Titans in the IPL. How he's grown, with Ashish Nehra. A lot of, credit has to go to Ashish Nehra. Shubman's really come into his own with Nehra mentoring him. And also another thing, Osama, that I don't think a lot of people have thought of, a lot of credit should be given also, indirect credit, to Hardik Pandya. Just think about it. If Hardik had not decided to leave Gujarat and go back to the Mumbai Indians in the IPL, Shubman would never have been Gujarat captain and wouldn't have been able to show the world just how good the captain is.
Let me also play the devil's advocate here. Rakesh Rao, do you feel that Gautam Gambhir is now fully in charge? And why I say this is because when Rohit Sharma and the likes of Virat Kohli, they were in the test team, many would say, I'm not saying this, many would say that Gautam Gambhir would not be able to take those decisions that he would have wanted to take. Having Shubman Gill as the captain now, do you think it makes things easier for Gautam Gambhir to manage the entire team?
I'm so glad you asked this, because Gautam Gambhir is the sort of guy, he is going to be at Shubman Gill's throat, trust me. And being a Dilliwala, and you have a captain from another, North Indian state, you have a vice captain who took captaincy very early. I remember 2016, 2017 series, he got the captaincy of, DDCA when nobody wanted it, and he was just into his early 20s. So imagine a gang which is primarily North Indian, short-tempered, temperamental, heroes here. But all these guys, if they form the think tank of the team, when you have Gautam Gambhir having to deal with these guys in England, you can imagine. So he will be very tough with these guys, which is his natural self. But the point is he happy with it? Obviously, yeah, because, now he doesn't have to deal with certain kind of ego thing with a lot of other seniors, which he doesn't have to deal with. But yes, now he will be in charge. That is all right. But then how does he deal with this challenge? That is a big one. Because Shubman is young. The bowling looks pretty ordinary to me. And they don't have the experience to go out there and actually do it. So what I feel is that Gigi has his hands full. And especially what happened, what New Zealand showed to us in India. Thereafter, Gigi is definitely not the same. He's completely shaken. Now, and again, we went to Australia, the way we overall, people don't seem to remember it now so well because our memories are so short. Gigi was again in serious trouble there. But then Gigi with this team, a young team, he can always escape by saying that, look, I was fighting a kind of an atomic war with bows and arrows because our attack looks pretty ordinary to me. Yeah. Because if Jasprit is not available for all the games and, you don't have Shami there. You have people like Prasid. Again, I don't think that he really has it in him because he's been there as a talent or as somebody for far too long now. He should have been a regular, but he's not. So overall options, if you see the attack, you have one frontline spinner. And overall, if you see, they've just put together a few individuals to form the fast bowling attack here. Ashdeep, completely new to this thing. So a lot of things. So Gigi will have, I'm quite certain that in the Indian dressing room, you're going to see the decibel levels go quite high and all the talking will be done by Gigi.
All right. I don't know if this is a strategic move to ensure Gambhir's dominance in the team's decision or a genuine vote of confidence in Gill's leadership. We'll only have to wait and watch to see that unfold. But I also want to speak about Ishwaran, Karun Nair and Shardul Thakur. Especially Ishwaran. Akash, he's going to be there in this particular team. He was picked earlier. He did not play then. Do you feel that he's going to fill in that spot that Virat Kohli has left?
Well, Osama, you have to really feel for someone like Abhimanyu because he's been around for such a long time. He's scored tons of runs in the domestic circuit. It's just, I think, it's a combination of factors why he still hasn't really played because for India at the highest level. Because I think it's also got to do with the fact that others have performed well and he just hasn't managed to make the cut. He's, like you mentioned, been part of squads in the past. But if you look ahead to England this time again, I don't think Abhimanyu is really going to be a first choice player. And I'm saying that because someone like Sai Sudarshan has been picked. Now, why has Sai Sudarshan been picked? Ajit was very, very clear when he talked to the media because he wanted to say this that Sai has not been picked because of his IPL performances. He has been picked because the selectors were impressed with his red ball game, the little bit that he has played at the domestic level and of course against second and third strings English teams in the past. He's also played county cricket, of course. So the fact that Sai Sudarshan has been picked tells me that he, I think, is going to be slotted into the playing 11. Now, if Sai Sudarshan is in fact slotted into the playing 11, then where do you really fit Abhimanyu? Because your openers are going to be Yashasvi and KL Rahul. Shubman most probably will take the number 4 slot, which has been vacated now, and of course is the most important position, especially for India in Test cricket. So where do you really fit someone like Abhimanyu? So again, you have to feel really, really bad for someone like him. I don't see him playing unless, of course, there's an injury to someone who is going to be in the first choice.
But this is a problem of plenty that India has always had in the last 10 years, 10 odd years, 15 years. Gautam Bhattacharya, I also want to speak about Karun Nair making a comeback in this particular team. Are you happy with that comeback because of the kind that work that he has put in, especially in the domestic circuit? He definitely deserved a call up to the Indian team.
Yes, certainly. See, the thing is, there is a method in the madness with which they have gone about it after 7 years. He has been kept in the India A team also, so that there is a certain amount of, Gigi once again gets an opportunity to find out how he is doing in match situations. And, the experience quotient is still quite low in the top order. So, for all we know, Nair may get a chance, if things go all right at number 4 and number 5. There is a fair chance. Unless you go for a left of field kind of a solution. We were discussing about Ishwaran. Ishwaran had been opening for Bengal for years and he has scored some 7,500 runs. So if I know that is not quite the same thing, but he had toured England as a backup player during the COVID times. So if you can risk with him at some point, he's 30, he's not exactly young, he's had enough years of red ball cricket with him. So if you have him and Jaiswal, then you can create a little bit of depth in your, 3, 4, 5. And there is certainly room for, Karun Nair, at least for one or two test matches, I agree.
All right. Akash, one final word from you. Quick prediction, and this is an early prediction for the England series. What do you reckon? What is going to be the series scoreline?
That's a really tough one, Osama. But I think India is definitely going to be tested on this tour. The bowling.
No. We want a number. We want a number.
I think India is going to, especially on this tour of England, they might find it difficult. Even though a lot of English veterans are also going to be missing from this particular series, but I think India is going to be, tested big time. The thing is that they didn't do very well in Australia last time. So
still not giving us the number.
Well, if you want a number, I think it's going to be about 3-1 to England.
3-1 to England. Rakesh Rao, very quickly, what is your prediction?
Anything between 3-0 to 4-0.
Wow. Gautam Bhattacharya.
Yes, to be honest, 3-1 in favor of England looks a bit of a possibility. I mean, somewhere, it's difficult for India to start well at Leeds. That may come at Lords or somewhere, but unfortunately, yes, 3-1 in favor of England.
Have some faith
would like
in the
to
new
be proved
captain,
wrong.
gentlemen. All right,
Yeah,
fascinating
honestly,
conversation there.
I mean, we'll be most happy if we can come back with the 2-all, but I don't see that happening as of now.
All right.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
All right, we'll all see how it pans out for Shubman Gill and the Gen Next that is taking charge of the Indian Test team for the England series, and for the Gautam Bhattacharya, Akash Das Gupta and Rakesh Rao. Thank you very much for being a part of this discussion. Time now for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.